Hello once again, everyone. Original Blood Ice back again. It's been a little while now since my last video here on my main channel. Been playing a hell of a lot of Splatoon in my spare time, but we got something I thought was worth discussing. So it's time for an OBA discussion video. It's been a while since I did one of these. And the topic, as you can see from the picture, Android. Now you're thinking, what does this have to do with anything? Well, there was a rumor that the NX, Nintendo NX, would be using a Android operating system. Well, as anyone with a brain could tell you, the chances of that happening were next to impossible. Next to never gonna fucking happen. And yet, people like IGN were reading about it, or not reading about it, writing about it and publishing it and saying, oh, yep, it's true, and blah, blah, blah. And then now they had to backpedal, like a lot of people, and Nintendo themselves, or a spokesperson for Nintendo, says, nope, not true in the slightest. So anyway, this was apparently the other day the original rumor, that NX would be a version of Android. Now let me just stop right here before we get into this, and let me just say, why would anyone have thought Nintendo would use the Android operating system for the NX? I mean, really, if you think about it, we already know NX is a dedicated game console. NX was revealed after the mobile announcement just to tell people that they were still going to be doing game consoles. Now, if we look at it, why on earth would they bring up the mobile things, which would be supporting Android, then bring up another futuristic console that would also be using Android? They've made it perfectly clear that they, well, at least they claim to, stick to their guns, that they're going to keep their Android, or their mobile games, I should say, separate from their game console games. So why the fuck would there be any connection whatsoever between a smartphone thing and a console sharing games? Sharing an operating system? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't line up. The stars don't align. Yet some people really were like, oh, operating system, blah, 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 it's going to be the Android. No, and it's hard to say this, but even Nintendo can't be that stupid. And people are like, oh, well, it would make the platform more easy to develop for these third parties, blah, 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 blah. Maybe. maybe. That's all I could say. But at the same time, since when has Nintendo gone the easy way out, taken the easy path? Since when have they made, or just, copied someone else's operating system? They've always made their own. From scratch. Every game console they've made from the ground up, 100% built by themselves. That's never gonna fucking change. For the smartphone crap and the mobile shit, yeah, they'll fucking use Android, they'll do iPhones too and all that shit, but it's, for their game consoles, it's going to be their own system. They're not gonna be caring about, oh, let's make something, as close to our competition, because they don't even give a shit about their competition. They don't care if third parties can copy and paste these broken ass games. To be honest, let's say the Wii U was identical to PS4 and Xbox One. Let's say these companies were like, oh, we're going to support the Wii U 100%, and every company was saying that, right? Do you really think Nintendo would simply allow truckload fulls of broken port after broken port? Even if the systems were more identical to the PS4 and Xbox One, those systems have trouble running these games. Look at even fucking exclusives like Bloodborne have their issues. I know we're getting off topic in this video, but my point is, people saying the third parties would come back. No, they're not coming back. They've been gone since the Super Nintendo, and the only reason they were around in the NES and the Super Nintendo days, well, in the NES days, was because they were the only one there. There was the Genesis, of course, with Sega, but we all know how that turned out, don't we? Then with the Super Nintendo, there was only, was it PS1? No, PS1 wasn't there yet. Super Nintendo was all on its own. So, of course, third party had to support that. And you could say there was still PC, but whatever. then N64 and PS1, and some started to go to PS4, or I should say PS1, some stayed with N64, blah blah blah, and it just kind of went downhill from there. So no, it doesn't matter what Nintendo ever fucking does, the third parties aren't coming back. But anyway, let's steer the ship back on course. I kind of got off on a tangent there. But yeah, Nintendo says NX will not use Android. I'm not fucking surprised. That would have been a boneheaded decision. And I mean, what you want to play Angry Birds on your NX? Is that what it is? You want to play these mobile, in quotation mark, games? These apps? No. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. And there's the whole Fusion thing here. That Fusion rumor. But I don't know. Here's their exact quote. "There is no truth to the report saying that we are planning to adopt Android for NX," a Nintendo spokesman said. Which, again, is fucking blatantly obvious. But, I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people have their own opinions on what the NX could really be. We know a few things. We know that it's going to be a dedicated game system. We know it's going to have its own operating system as always. We know it's not going to be a, in quote, simple replacement for the 3DS or the Wii U, which is why I personally think the NX will be, actually before I say that, Iwata said before that their next console would be, or their next home console and handheld would have the similar architecture, as long as they don't pull a Sony and just put all their games on both fucking consoles. But the point is, for me personally, I think the NX is not a simple replacement, it's a complicated replacement. It's more of, like, the 3DS is getting near the end of its life. It's been out for, what, 4 or 5 years now? I think about 5 years. And, it goes handheld, home console, handheld, home console. So, it would make sense that the NX is the successor to the 3DS. Now, don't even try and bring up, but the new 3DS, what about it? Did the DSi prevent the 3DS from coming out later? No. The new 3DS is not a new system, it's just an upgraded, slightly better money-grabbing system. Yeah, I fucking got one, but irrelevant. It still was just a money grab system to extend help extend the 3DS's lifespan by another year, maybe 2, but I doubt it full 2 years. But either way, I still think the NX is going to be the next handheld initially, since it seems like NX you could think, oh, it stands for Nintendo Cross, cross-platform or cross, fusion, whatever. But so I wouldn't be surprised if we got an NX handheld and then a year later an NX home console in 2017, meaning the new handheld would be next year. I wouldn't be surprised if we got that. And then that way, both consoles have similar architecture. With only a 1-year gap, the technology would be very similar. And that would fit what Iwata said in the past. Now, anyway, I've babbled on long enough. I don't think I need to say anything more other than I'm glad the NX won't use Android. I like Android. I hate fucking, iPhones and all that shit. But that doesn't mean I'd want an Android game console. That'd be fucking stupid as hell. Although that reminds me, what was the Ouya? Was that Android? If it was, look at what happened to that. And then, you could argue, oh, it's Nintendo, it's not Ouya. But either way, I'm done. I'm wrapping this video up. Thanks for watching or listening or whatever. Come back for more videos coming soon. As always, we'll see you then. Peace.